that ties in with older Lord Julius and Baskin in Palmu bottling liquor. That was one of those where it was a good, funny line, where basically they're sitting there bottling different kinds of liquor, and it's like, what's this stuff? I don't know, it's clear, we'll call this gin. And it's like, what's this stuff? Well, it's kind of cloudy and yellow, so we'll call that the whiskey. And it's like, if they were actually, we definitely are, the idea is conveyed that this is what Palmu does now, is basically just manufacture all of the alcohol for all of the bars where all of the single men who have refused to get married or have gotten divorced or are otherwise really, really bad tyrannous men are expected to drink themselves to death 24/7. Presumably, you wouldn't be doing exclusively hooch. You would be doing good alcohol of some kind. I mean, even Cyrenists, you could explain to them, no, you can do some of that. You could use grain alcohol, and then, this entire bar, everybody goes blind or something like that, which would then make everybody else in every other bar drink that much more and that much faster, 24 hours a day. It undermined the structure of what I was doing. Again, it would make one very, very funny sequence with just bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles. And Lord Julius and Baskin are the only guys making alcohol for the entire Astarcian continent. And basically trying to decide what each of the bottles is contained. If it's clear, it's got to be gin. If it's kind of cloudy and brown, we'll call that whiskey.
Yeah, the sad part is I'm shaking my head because I realize where the beginnings of that idea of Julius making all the hooch comes from. There's a bit in High Society when Blakely's meeting with the candidate before he becomes the candidate, and Lord Julius walks in and says, "Can I use your bathtub because there's still a ring around mine from the Black Sun whatever that Elrod mixed last night." And you're saying this, I'm going, dang, wait a minute, I remember where this idea came from.
Yes. Well, it's one of those, if you're going to do what Lord Julius is doing, you need a lot of alcohol to lubricate things. It's the same as my take on the Bible, that once it sinks in that people are calling on the name of the YHWH and choosing YHWH over God, then it's, okay, well, we're going to have a flood, and we're going to have to start things over with the three sons of Noah. And the three sons will be the he, she, it. And that was when Noah became a husbandman and figured out how to ferment grapes and make wine. Because it's like God was going, okay, this is going to get really, really complicated and really, really messy in a hurry. Let's have a round of drinks for everybody. As a matter of fact, let's teach everybody how to make rounds of drinks. And we'll see where we are on this in another 6,000 years. And here we are. Okay, so any other major debris hunks you sort of remember? No, I really don't. Again, it's a very difficult process to describe where like I say, between the time when I was doing the chasing cootie issues, like issue 31, 30, and still getting used to Cerebus being the ranking diplomatic representative and all that sort of stuff.
What? One of my Christmas cards, I think it was the first one I did. I had this really great bit where, because they're standing in line to see the baby Jesus, and they're singing the little drummer boy, and the whole gag is that when it gets to On My Drum in the original song, Iguana's going, I play drums. And I'm drawing it, and I get to this panel where it's Iguana, they get to the front of the line, and he points at the baby and says, that's the Elvis of the Jews? And I thought it was really funny. But as I'm inking it, I realized that lettering-wise, this is the part where Iguana has to say his one line in the song. And I'm like, okay, well, that's gone. I mean, as funny as it is, blasphemous but funny, I've got to throw it overboard because, the whole structure hinges on him saying this one line.
Right.
And, it's like, well, I can use that joke somewhere else. Well, yeah, you can, but you can't. I mean, at a certain point, you got to... the baby you're going to throw the baby with the bathwater because you're going to have a whole lot more bathwater and a whole lot more babies.
Right. Well, and that's also, just to be forensically accurate here, it's very hard to tell whether that's blasphemous or heretical. It would depend on whether you're talking about God, which obviously is a core Christian teaching that Jesus is God. So consequently, anything that you did like that would be blasphemous. But it's not as cut and dried as that. Whether that's blasphemous is an opinion, and whether that's heretical is an opinion. Possibly it could be either one, or it could be both, or it could be half and